case is over, the verdict has been reached, and you must listen now. Before the changes begin to manifest around you. The spiritual courts have reviewed your file, and a decision has been made that will change everything in your life. This is not a moment to scroll past. This is not a time for doubt. What you are hearing is real, and it is happening now as we speak. The case that has kept you awake at night, the situation that seemed impossible, has been addressed at the highest level, and the ruling has come down in your favor. The heavenly courts have been in session. Your file was pulled from among millions. Your situation was reviewed with perfect wisdom, perfect knowledge, perfect justice. The verdict has been stamped. It cannot be appealed, it cannot be changed, it cannot be delayed any longer. What is coming next is unavoidable. The highest judge has spoken your name, the gavel has fallen, your enemies have been silenced as the decree was issued from the throne. But you must be ready, you must be alert, you must prepare your heart to receive what is about to manifest in your life. The coming days are critical. The divine enforcers are already moving, already working, already setting things in order for what must happen next in your situation. Like this video if you receive this message, if you accept that your case has been heard, that your situation has been addressed by the highest court. The spiritual authorities are watching, they are seeing. Who acknowledges this divine intervention, who recognizes this supernatural verdict? Your response matters. Your recognition of this moment tells heaven you are ready to step into the resolution that has been decreed over your situation. Your struggles have been seen, every tear you cried, every night you couldn't sleep, every moment you wondered if justice would ever come. Nothing was missed, nothing was overlooked, nothing was considered too small. Your entire situation was examined with perfect understanding. The injustice you faced, the unfair treatment, the false accusations, the attacks against your character, all of it was recorded in heaven. Your patience during this trial, your faith during the waiting, your refusal to take matters into your own hands, it was all noticed, it was all honored. When cases come before the spiritual courts, they are reviewed with a wisdom that sees beyond appearances, beyond what is visible to human eyes, beyond what seems possible in the natural realm. Your case received special attention because of how long you have endured, because of how faithful you remained, because of how you trusted even when everything seemed hopeless. Type Amen if you are ready to receive your verdict, if you are prepared for the sudden changes that will now begin in your situation. The resolution cannot come to those who reject it, those who doubt it, those who refuse to position themselves to receive it. Your acknowledgement is the key that unlocks the manifestation of what has already been decided in the courts above. The spiritual courts operate at a level beyond human understanding. They function with perfect justice, perfect mercy, perfect timing. Cases are brought before the throne by divine advocates who plead on behalf of those who have been wronged, those who have been mistreated, those who have been overlooked. There is a hierarchy to these courts, different levels, different jurisdictions, different authorities, but your case was elevated to the highest court, the Supreme Council, the throne room itself. This happens only when a situation has divine significance, only when there are bigger purposes at stake, only when heaven itself has interest in the outcome. Your case received this special attention because of what it represents, because of what your breakthrough will demonstrate, because of how your victory will impact others around you. The timing of your verdict was precise, was calculated, was determined by factors you cannot see but that are critical to the perfect resolution of your situation. The divine authorities say stand ready for what comes next, be prepared for sudden shifts, unexpected developments, divine interventions in your situation. You have been specifically chosen for this resolution at this time for purposes greater than you can currently understand. Your case is a demonstration of heavenly justice. Type 777 if you accept this divine verdict, if you receive this supernatural resolution, if you are ready for what happens next. Your agreement activates the manifestation, your faith accelerates the process, your readiness determines how quickly everything unfolds. Those who worked against you did not know they were fighting against a divine verdict. They did not realize they were opposing heavenly justice. They operated in the shadows, making plans, speaking against you, working to ensure your case would never be resolved, your situation would never improve. Their tactics were calculated, their timing strategic, their influence substantial, but they did not account for divine intervention. They did not factor in heavenly timing. They believed they had the final say. They thought their position was secure. They assumed their power would prevail, but they were wrong. The spiritual courts have overruled them, have nullified their authority, have cancelled their assignments against you with a single declaration from the throne. They are now scrambling, trying to understand what happened, attempting to regain control, but it is too late. The verdict has been issued, the case is closed, the resolution is coming. Type 1 accept my victory to confirm your position, to declare yourself ready to step into the resolution that has been decreed. Stand in the authority that has been granted to you. Rise up in the power that comes with this divine verdict. Refuse to back down from what is rightfully yours. Heaven is waiting to see who will fully embrace this moment, who will boldly claim what has been decreed, who will walk confidently in the resolution that has been established. You are not powerless in this situation. You are not at the mercy of those who opposed you. You are not subject to their threats, their manipulations, their schemes. The divine verdict outweighs all earthly opposition. The heavenly decree supersedes all human judgments. The spiritual authority you have been given is greater than any force working against you. Truth and justice will prevail in your situation. What was hidden will be revealed. What was stolen will be restored. What was blocked will suddenly open before you. You carry an authority you did not have before this verdict was issued. You stand in a position you did not occupy before this case was resolved. You walk with a power that your opposition cannot comprehend. The spiritual atmosphere around your situation has already shifted. Heaven has already moved. Earth is now catching up to what has been established in the courts above. There are others who have received divine verdicts just like you, people who stood where you stand now, who faced impossible situations that suddenly turned around. A woman who fought a legal battle for 7 years saw everything resolve in 7 days. After her case was addressed in the spiritual courts, justice came swiftly once the divine verdict was issued. A man who had been denied his rightful position for a decade was suddenly promoted 3 levels beyond what he had been fighting for. The divine resolution exceeded what he had even asked for. A family who was about to lose everything, their home, their savings, their reputation, had everything restored, double what they had before after their case was heard in the courts above. These testimonies are not coincidences, they are not random events, they are evidence of how divine verdicts manifest when heaven rules in favor of those who have been wronged. Your story is about to join theirs. Your testimony is about to encourage others. Your breakthrough is about to become evidence of divine justice in action. Type 333 if you are standing in faith for your case resolution, if you are positioning yourself to receive everything that has been decreed. Declare yourself ready to walk in new authority, to step into new territory, to operate at a new level as this verdict manifests in your life. Heaven is watching. Your response determines how quickly and how fully the manifestation will come. Divine verdicts are enforced in the natural realm through a precise sequence of events, through strategic positioning of people, through sudden shifts in circumstances that cannot be explained by human reasoning. The timing between verdict and manifestation varies, but the process has already begun in your situation. Things are already moving, people are already being positioned, resources are already being aligned. You will see signs that manifestation has started, small evidences, unexpected phone calls, sudden opportunities, unusual favor from unlikely sources. These are not coincidences, they are enforcement of your verdict. Those who opposed your case, those who worked against your breakthrough, those who tried to prevent your resolution are experiencing confusion right now. Their plans are falling apart, their strategies are failing, their influence is diminishing. Some verdicts manifest gradually, building momentum day by day, while others explode suddenly into reality, changing everything overnight. Either way, the outcome is certain, the resolution is inevitable, the breakthrough will come. The divine enforcers never fail, never retreat, never compromise. What heaven has decreed will be established on earth. It is only a matter of time. Specific forces worked diligently to block your breakthrough, to delay your victory, to prevent your case from being resolved. They operated with strategic precision, with careful planning, with relentless determination. They created distractions to make you lose focus, discouragements to make you give up, delays to make you believe nothing would ever change, all carefully designed to make you surrender your case. They targeted your specific situation because they recognized its significance. They understood what your breakthrough would mean. They feared the impact your testimony would have on others in similar circumstances. Financial pressure, relationship strain, health challenges, unexpected crises. These were not random occurrences, they were tactical maneuvers designed to wear you down, to break your resolve, to make you abandon what was rightfully yours. But heaven saw their schemes, heaven recognized their tactics, heaven exposed their strategies, and with a single ruling nullified everything they had established against you. The very obstacles that were meant to destroy you will now become stepping stones to your elevated position. The attacks meant to define you will now showcase divine intervention. The opposition meant to stop you will now highlight the power of your breakthrough. Type justice prevails if you believe your case is truly resolved, if you accept that the highest court has ruled in your favor, if you stand firm in this divine verdict. The final opposition is arising now, the last attempts to make you doubt, to make you fear, to make you question what has been decreed, but they will not succeed. Prepare for the manifestation that is coming. Position yourself to receive what has been declared. Declare your confidence in what heaven has established as you face these final challenges. Your stance in this moment determines the power of your testimony in the next season. The evidence of resolution will begin appearing within days, within hours, in some cases within moments of your acceptance of this divine verdict. The spiritual realm moves faster than the natural. The process unfolds in strategic stages. First comes internal knowing, a peace that surpasses understanding, a confidence that defies your circumstances. This is confirmation that the verdict is real. Next comes external evidence, small signs, unexpected developments, unusual favor. These are the first visible indications that something has shifted in your situation. Then comes undeniable manifestation, clear, tangible, unmistakable proof that your case has been resolved. This is when even skeptics cannot deny what has happened. Critical points in this timeline will test your faith, will challenge your confidence, will demand your unwavering trust in what has been decreed. Do not falter at these crucial moments. Some see results faster than others depending on the complexity of their case, the depth of opposition, the number of moving pieces that must be aligned for full resolution, but everyone who stands firm will see their breakthrough. The divine timeline is perfect, is precise, is calculated with factors you cannot see but that ensure the maximum impact of your resolution. Do not grow impatient as the process unfolds. Trust the divine timing. The divine authorities declare your case officially closed with no possibility of appeal, no opportunity for reversal, no chance for the enemy to reopen what heaven has settled. The highest judge has stamped your file with final authority. The matter is settled, the decision is binding, the resolution is permanent. Nothing and no one can change what has been decreed. Type "It is finished" to seal this verdict in your own heart, to acknowledge the completion of this case, to align yourself with the divine resolution that has been established. Your declaration is the final authorization that releases the fullness of your breakthrough into the natural realm. Signs of resolution are already appearing in your situation if you look with spiritual eyes, if you pay attention to unusual developments, if you recognize divine fingerprints on seemingly ordinary events. Certain people are suddenly changing their tone, their attitude, their position toward you. This is not random, this is strategic repositioning by divine orchestration to support your coming breakthrough. Resources that were previously blocked are beginning to flow. Opportunities that were once closed are starting to open. Doors that seemed permanently locked are now showing signs of movement. Behind-the-scenes arrangements are being made, conversations are happening, decisions are being influenced by supernatural intervention beyond what human effort could accomplish. People are being moved into position who will play critical roles in your resolution, some who know they are helping, some who have no idea they are being used as divine agents of your breakthrough. Financial provision, strategic connections, timely information, key introductions. These resources are being aligned for your benefit through divine orchestration you could never have arranged on your own. What seems like coincidence, what appears as lucky timing, what looks like fortunate circumstances are actually calculated, precise, deliberate moves by heaven to enforce the verdict that has been decreed. The evidence is multiplying daily if you stay alert, if you remain aware, if you look with faith instead of fear. You will see undeniable proof that your resolution is already in motion. Type 1. See it coming, to acknowledge the manifestation that has already begun, to declare your spiritual eyes are open to the evidence surrounding you. Position yourself to receive the fullness of your verdict. Prepare your mind, your heart, your life for the changes that are unfolding. Step into alignment with what heaven has decreed. Your recognition of these early signs accelerates the process. Your gratitude for small beginnings attracts greater manifestations. Your faith in partial evidence releases complete fulfillment. Your new position comes with greater authority, increased influence, expanded territory beyond what you had before this case was resolved. You will not return to your former level. This breakthrough places you in a position of responsibility. What you do with this resolution matters. How you steward this victory determines what comes next in your divine assignment. Those who have received divine verdicts carry an obligation to establish justice for others, to create pathways for those facing similar battles, to demonstrate the principles that lead to breakthrough. Your testimony becomes a weapon against injustice. Your experience becomes a map for others. Your victory becomes evidence that divine intervention is still available today. Some who receive supernatural resolution mishandle their breakthrough through pride, through vengeance, through misuse of their new position. Do not make this mistake. Others diminish their victory by continuing to live with a victim mentality, by failing to step fully into their new authority, by doubting the permanence of their breakthrough. The way you respond to enemies who opposed you reveals your readiness for the next level. Forgiveness releases you, bitterness blocks you, revenge disqualifies you. This resolution is not just about you, it is about establishing a pattern, creating a precedent, demonstrating a principle that will impact countless others watching your journey. Your case has been resolved so you can become an agent of resolution for others. Your breakthrough is meant to break open pathways for those who will follow. Type ready for responsibility if you commit to steward your verdict well, if you pledge to use your breakthrough to help others, if you agree to become an agent of resolution. Stand in gratitude for this divine intervention. Acknowledge the mercy, the grace, the favor that has been extended to you through this supernatural verdict. Your administration of this victory determines your eligibility for greater assignments. Your handling of this resolution qualifies you for increased authority. Your faithfulness with this breakthrough positions you for expanded influence. Heaven is watching. Your response now shapes your future assignments. The opposition is making last desperate efforts to make you doubt the verdict, to question the resolution, to fear that nothing has really changed. These attempts will intensify as manifestation draws closer. Recognize and reject these final attacks. The enemy always fights hardest when defeat is inevitable. The opposition always resists strongest when breakthrough is imminent. The darkness always seems deepest just before dawn breaks. Strange circumstances, sudden setbacks, unusual delays, unexpected complications may arise as final attempts to shake your faith, to make you question what heaven has decreed. Do not be moved by these temporary distractions. People may bring negative reports, discouraging perspectives, pessimistic predictions about your situation. These are not random conversations, they are strategic attempts to undermine your confidence in what has been established. Maintain your stance as the verdict manifestation completes. Hold firmly to what has been declared. Refuse to be shaken by contradicting evidence. Stand on the divine ruling, not on changing circumstances. Protect your breakthrough from sabotage by guarding your words, by monitoring your thoughts, by selecting your associations carefully. What you speak, what you believe, who you listen to will either reinforce or undermine your resolution. The enemy will try to provoke you to act prematurely, to move outside divine timing, to take matters into your own hands. This would compromise the perfect execution of your verdict. Do not fall for these manipulations. The final phase of manifestation is the most critical time for unwavering faith, for consistent declaration, for standing firmly on what heaven has decreed. Do not falter at the finish line. Type no weapon formed against me will prosper. To stand against these final opposition attempts, to declare your unshakable faith in the verdict, to refuse any contradiction to your breakthrough. The spiritual realm responds to your declarations. What you proclaim becomes established. What you permit will continue. What you resist must flee. The power of your words aligns with the divine verdict. Your stance in these final moments determines the power of your testimony, the impact of your breakthrough, the authority of your future position. Do not compromise, do not waver, do not surrender what has been decreed as yours. This is the critical moment that shapes your legacy. Everything taken from you will be restored, not partially, not incompletely, not with compromise, but fully, completely, abundantly beyond what was lost. The divine principle of restoration after injustice guarantees multiplication. What the enemy stole returns multiplied. What was taken unjustly comes back increased. What was delayed is accelerated upon return. A business owner who lost everything through false accusations received 7 times his previous worth after his case was resolved in the spiritual courts. A woman denied her inheritance for decades received not only what was rightfully hers but additional properties, additional resources, additional connections that established her far beyond her original position. A ministry blocked and hindered for years suddenly expanded to 7 nations after divine resolution removed the spiritual opposition that had restricted its growth. These are not isolated incidents, they are examples of the divine restoration principle that is now activated in your situation. What was meant for your harm will work for your greatest advantage. The timeline for complete manifestation varies by case, but the process has already begun. Some aspects will restore quickly, others gradually, but all will be returned with increase, with improvement, with divine upgrading. Positions will be restored with promotion, resources with multiplication, influence with expansion, relationships with deeper connection, health with greater vitality, reputation with enhanced honor. Nothing will be left unaddressed by this verdict. The restoration will be so complete, so overwhelming, so undeniable that even your former opposition will recognize that only divine intervention could have produced such an outcome. The divine authorities say, rise now and receive what is rightfully yours. Stand in victory with complete confidence. Step into the fullness of what has been decreed without hesitation, without reservation, without compromise. The time for waiting is over. The season for preparation has passed. The moment for possession has arrived. What has been declared in heaven must now be claimed on earth. Type victory is mine. To take full ownership of your case, resolution to establish your position in this divine breakthrough, to declare your complete acceptance of what heaven has provided. Your faith, your declaration, your stance activates the fullness of this verdict in your life right now, today, in this very moment. As your verdict manifests, take these practical actions to ensure you receive the complete benefit of what has been decreed in the courts above. First, guard your words. Speak only what aligns with the verdict. Declare only what reinforces the resolution. Focus your conversation on gratitude, on faith, on expectation of complete fulfillment. Second, position yourself for reception. Clear away distractions, eliminate negative influences, reorganize your environment to make space for what is coming. What you make room for accelerates in manifestation. Third, document the evidence. Keep a record of every sign, every breakthrough, every manifestation. This strengthens your faith, accelerates further fulfillment, and becomes a powerful testimony to encourage others. When facing those who opposed you, respond with dignity, with grace, with confidence, not with gloating, not with revenge, not with pride. Your response proves your worthiness for the promotion this verdict brings. Position yourself for the full impact of the resolution by maintaining integrity, by walking in humility, by operating in wisdom. The manner in which you receive determines the sustainability of what comes. Keys to accelerating the manifestation process include gratitude before complete fulfillment, action that aligns with expectation, and absolute refusal to entertain doubt even when circumstances temporarily contradict the verdict. Expect supernatural connections, divine appointments, strategic relationships to suddenly form. These are not coincidences but calculated alignments to establish your next level. Some doors will open immediately, others gradually. Allow divine timing to determine the sequence. Trust the process even when it differs from your expectations. The orchestration is perfect even when the pace seems unusual. Type walking in victory. To commit to proper response, to declare your intention to follow divine guidance, to position yourself for the fullness of this resolution. Your journey from verdict to complete manifestation requires wisdom, requires discernment, requires sensitivity to divine leading. What comes next is as important as what came before. Stand ready to receive further instructions. Heaven will guide each step, will illuminate each decision, will direct each move as you walk out the fullness of this breakthrough. The manner in which you steward this victory determines the level of your next assignment. Heaven is watching how you handle this resolution. The case is permanently closed and sealed in the courts above. No appeal can be filed, no review will be granted, no reopening is possible. What heaven has decreed stands forever. Divine authorities have enforced the verdict, have dispatched angels, have released resources, have positioned people. Everything necessary for complete manifestation is already in motion. Your future is secured by this resolution. What was uncertain is now established. What was threatened is now protected. What was challenged is now confirmed by divine declaration. Heavenly records have been updated with your victory. Your name has been moved from the waiting list to the resolved column. Your file has been stamped with divine approval. Those who opposed you are being redirected. Those who supported you are being rewarded. Those who watched to see the outcome are being convinced of divine reality through your breakthrough. Your testimony joins the evidence of heaven's intervention in human affairs. Your story becomes proof that divine justice still operates today. Your victory declares that spiritual courts still rule over earthly circumstances. It is done.